grazing to that thing.
It's all due to putting that waterway in.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them.
Yeah. I sent him a letter,
Okay.
and he was supposed to be done by April 1st of 2019, but it was so wet and whatever, and he came in and said, you know,
You told Mark that
he
we were
came in
going-
on March 25th, and I told him April 1st was not doable because of the weather. I told him to talk to Mark and get specs on how to fix it and what a new deadline would be.
We should probably get the meeting actually started.
Yes.
Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll get to it.
Oh, slim.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes on the agenda.
I'll second.
A motion from Stenberg and a second from Gensel to approve the minutes on the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Well, we got 9 o'clock with Healthy Harvest, but she's not here.
One is on hold, waiting for the other one to call in. It's going to be a conference call.
Okay, so we'll wait for both of them to call in.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead to drainage then. As long as we're,
Eric Holton.
They're both on there.
Okay, so we have to wait.
okay. Push it one more time.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Jan.
Hi there.
Hey.
All right, so Carla, are we good to go?
Yes.
All right, thank you for getting this conference call linked up, and thank you to the supervisors for making some time to visit with us. Without the video, this is Jan Libby with Healthy Harvest of North Iowa, and we also have Murray Boyd. I'll just give you a chance to say hi.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we have Healthy Harvest of North Iowa, as you know, mission is to connect and educate and support the local food system. We're active in 9 counties, and Winnebago certainly is one of the counties that we've had a fair amount of activity in. We wanted to take a little bit of time to just introduce the supervisors to our new executive director, Murray Boyd, as I will be stepping down completely. We've been working on a transition this spring, and we're getting close to that full changeover. So Murray will be the point of contact after this. And it also gives us a chance to give a little bit of an update on some of the activities that are going on in Winnebago County and making an impact on your local food producers, community, and consumers as well. So with that brief intro, I wondered if the supervisors might give a short introduction of yourselves. It's always a case of coming into a late fall meeting with the supervisors, and it's nice to have a little bit of background as to who we're talking with. And that would be the first time that Marie would have been there to meet you. So if you're game to just, whoever wants to start, just go down the line and give a quick introduction of yourselves, and then I think we'll turn it over and Marie will talk a little bit about her own background and some of the activities coming up in 2019.
All right, this is Terry Derby, and I serve the areas of Forest City, Leland, and those townships.
This is Bill Jensvold, and I serve the area of Buffalo Center, Rake, and Thompson.
Mike Stensrud. Sorry?
I'm sorry, I just said excellent, yes.
Mike Stensrud, and I serve townships north and south of Lake Mills.
Okay,
Okay.
excellent. All right.
Nice to meet you.
Marie, do you want to take it from there?
Yes. So my name is Marie Boyd. I've been working with Healthy Harvest for about 3 years now. As a contractor, I started with a couple of small projects, and as of recently, I've been really doing a lot of different work with our projects, whether it be with farmers markets. I've certainly worked with Forest City Farmers Market on various projects. I've worked with farm to school programming. We've been doing some piloting going on in Cerro Gordo and Franklin County. So really looking at our youth and how to excite them about their food and where it comes from, doing taste tests and in the classroom education, which has been really wonderful. And we're excited to look at expanding that now that we have a year under our belt with some trials. I've been doing some farm to fork dinners. I've kind of worked over in Floyd County, down in Wright, as well as Franklin County and Cerro Gordo. And I was also part of our planning team for the gathering, which hopefully you all saw. That was a fantastic event. Our second year this year was held in March. It was really a celebration of local food. It's a local food marketplace, so a bunch of vendors coming out in March, which is super exciting to kick off the season. And then we had so many workshops and just some really great conversations that had in that space. I was held at the North Iowa Event Center in Mason City, and we had over 1,100 people come out for that. So we're talking about some great energy leading into this season, and so kind of a wide variety of different projects that I've been involved in. And I always say with nonprofits, you wear multiple hats. So that means I also am involved in marketing and fundraising and grant writing and all of that good stuff too. So definitely have been involved at the core of Healthy Harvest for a while, and Jan leaves some big shoes to fill, but I'm excited with the opportunity to step into that and to continue this work, continue to expand out what we're doing in each of our counties. As more partners come on, we're excited to pursue what that looks like. So can touch on a little more of that in a bit. But, yeah.
Do you want to touch on the field day on the 21st of July and the Charlie Card activities planned for Winnebago County, as well as the farmers market team?
Yes, absolutely. So, I wasn't sure. Usually we have our visual cues with our videos, so I'm a little off on my flow here. So, as far as this year and beyond, with what it looks like for Winnebago and some other counties, of course, as well, we have a program called the North Iowa Local Food Connection Program. So it's intended to be a business network program for our local food businesses. So whether that's farms, grocery stores, restaurants, processors, anywhere in between, really creating a space for folks to get together and create those relationships that strengthen their own businesses, as well as create partnerships that develop potential other future businesses. So that's been really successful. We've done some educational workshops and networking groups with that, as well as we do summer field days. When I say summer, we do a field day series. We did one last year, which went really well, so we brought that back again this year. We've held our first one in June. Our second one is actually in Forest City. So it is on July 21st. It is being hosted at Red Shed Gardens, as well as J&J Dry Dock Shrimp. So really highlighting two really unique businesses that you have going on there in Forest City, which are just a mile apart, but highlighting some really interesting production practices going on at Red Shed with some of their vegetable and fruit production. And they've been only at it for a couple of years, and the amazing stuff they've been able to do already. And also then shrimp production, right? Shrimp production here in North Iowa. So we're really excited. That's one we've been talking about quite a bit. So we're looking forward to inviting some folks out. And these field days are open to anybody. Again, the program does focus on those business connections, but the field days really open it up to be able to bring other folks in, whether it's community members, partners, whoever wants to attend. It's usually held on a Saturday or Sunday, so this one in Forest City will be on Sunday, again, July 21st, and we encourage everybody to check that out. The other two pieces is we've been piloting some recipe demonstrations and cooking classes with a unit called the Charlie Cart that we got last year through a grant, and it allows us basically to make a kitchen anywhere, which is really neat, especially when you're talking about farmers markets in a space that doesn't usually have something like that. So we came a couple times last year, especially during National Farmers Market Week, and we did get some funding to bring that back this year. I think to the Hanson Foundation, actually. And we're doing monthly demonstrations. I know we have an intern that's working with us. Natalie was just up last week at the Forest City Farmers Market to do a demonstration on some spinach pesto, so that's pretty neat. And we'll be back every single month at Forest City, and we're also exploring our relationship with Buffalo Center Farmers Market in support of that market and what they're doing and what they started last year. So it's a great example of a resource that we can bring into the markets to be able to support them, make them more of that event feel, without putting that extra pressure on the market organizers, because there's a lot that goes into planning farmers markets that you wouldn't even believe. So, if they can focus on getting the vendors there, getting quality vendors there, and other activities, and we can come and bring this added piece in a couple times throughout the season. That's a great partnership there. And then we also do have the Farmers Market Project Team, which the leaders of the Lisa Forest City Market have been a part of over the last couple of years. We work on, instead of recreating the wheel, sharing resources, sharing support, sharing vendors, sharing ideas for the farmers markets in the area, and bringing those folks together, especially around collaborative projects such as National Farmers Market Week has been a big one. We also have done some kits for kids activities at farmers markets, supplying those supplies and resources and ideas for that, and also some cooking class kits too. So that's been really great as far as support for our farmers market. And what is the last one, Jan? Or that was the three. That was the three.
I think that was it.
So,
yeah, it was the field day, the Charlie Cart, and the coalition team there.
Yeah, so there's definitely all sorts of opportunities to grow into the future as well. We have the North Iowa Local Food Coalition. We definitely encourage more folks to continue to join in on that, because that's where some of these projects, especially regional projects, grow and develop. I mean, the Farm to School is a great example of that. That came out of some energy with some, some superintendents coming out asking some of these questions, and we've been able to get local food on the plates of school kids, right? So just within a couple of years. So we're definitely hoping to launch into that at more schools for Iowa Local Food Day, which is held in October 11th. So we're going to be starting to kick off some outreach for that, and farm to fork dinners, and just any way that we can lift the profile of local food, get people excited, really highlight what's going on in your communities. So if you see something, if you know of a business that's doing some really cool, whether it's production, whether it's value added or distribution or whatever that might look like, let us know, because we want to make sure that we lift those businesses up. And if people are asking for something, maybe it's a community garden, or maybe additional support for the farmers market in a way we haven't seen yet, or maybe it's a college, whatever that looks like, we're excited to be partners and be at that table and help lift those efforts up. So, yeah.
Excellent. Good. Thank you for that great overview. The relationships we have that Healthy Harvest has with the counties began back in about 2013, and Terry would remember. He served on Prairie Winds RC&D, which was the first organization that really helped to generate what has become Healthy Harvest of North Iowa. And then Prairie Winds served as the fiscal agent for a number of years. Then we worked with another fiscal agent, and then in 2017, Healthy Harvest applied for its own 501c3 status and has received that. So we are an official IRS nonprofit. We have continued to be engaged with County Board of Supervisors. We cover, as I said, about 9 counties, and we have 7 counties that have been involved in providing that financial support, as well as coming and keeping supervisors informed as to what's going on. We really take that mission from Healthy Harvest seriously across producers, consumers, communities, and pulling regional partners together through the coalition, such as the Farmers Market Coalition team that Marie referenced. Local food system work is complex work. It takes time, and it takes lots of partners. And we know that where people live and make decisions is right in their hometown, and so we really need to get down right into the county level and the community level, even though we have kind of a big picture regional perspective, and continue to build those kinds of connections, just as Maria is saying. If you are aware of initiatives that look like a good fit for the work that Healthy Harvest is doing, certainly follow up and get in touch with Marie, and she'll help build those connections even more broadly. That's one of Healthy Harvest's expertise, is helping to put pieces together. So I know that Winnebago County has not been able to provide funding in the last couple of years, but you had done that in previous years. I hope that there may be an opportunity for that to resume that conversation, and I'm sure Marie will be happy to come and visit with you this fall during the beginning of your budgeting cycle to give an update as to the impact that Healthy Harvest is continuing to make in the Winnebago area with your communities and producers, and let you know kind of what's coming up as the organization continues to move forward. The support that you've had is really important in terms of demonstrating to communities, supervisors' endorsement of this work and support of the importance of local food system work as economic and community development. It also helps us leverage other grants, and that has been something that Healthy Harvest has been fairly successful. And we are going into this rest of this year and into next year with a couple of new grants that are helping to support this work as well. So it really takes foundational support as well as, from the supervisors, as well as from foundations like the Hansen Foundation, as Marie mentioned, and then some outside grants as well. So that's just a
Jan, I don't want to interrupt you, but we're running a little behind in our schedule.
Sure.
So we got to keep going here. We appreciate all the information you provided. We look forward to meeting Marie in the future. And it was a lot of information to absorb all at once here. I know we've heard some of it before, but some of the programs sound exciting, and I guess we look forward to that conversation later this fall.
Appreciate it. I think we have pretty much covered what we want, and I'm sure Marie will be happy to send some materials that just sort of reinforce the information, and wish you all the best.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You
Thank
have a
you.
great
Thank you,
morning.
Carla. Bye.
Yep, have a good day.
Okay, 9:15 sort. Kathy Rawlinson to discuss possible action, use of the courthouse grounds, July 18th through 21st for pucker brush.
Okay, packet for each of you all. The schedule is an unedited version, so don't take into account any of the errors. So the first page is the schedule, and then ensuing pages are what we would be using for the grounds on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. A lot of the events on Sunday are not around the uptown area, so it's basically for our activities.
Just pretty much the same every year.
Yes, yeah, and then also we'll be having some food vendors that would need to park in the parking lot overnight.
Do we know any schedule on our contractor for repair work yet? He was here and did some
Yeah.
looking, but
I would have to ask Kevin for sure.
hopefully it'll be right after that he starts.
Well, yeah, I was thinking he was getting ready to
If nothing else, he'll have fencing around.
yeah.
Yeah, and we've made adjustments with some of the construction fencing that has been up too.
It seems to
Four.
work okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess if you guys have no questions for her, I'll make a motion to approve the use of the courthouse grounds for pucker brush days.
Second.
On a motion from Derby and a second from Jensvold. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
got Kevin's number, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yep, so I'll get him some information as well.
all right, thanks Kathy.
Thank you.
Okay. Maybe she
Could I,
Just go
can we
ahead.
go back to drainage? So
Yeah.
Chuck can
Yeah,
get out of
let's
here?
go ahead and get Scott coming up here anyway, so he's involved in this.
75 to 30.
Oh,
We can do drainage first and then go back to Scott when he gets there.
Hello.
You want to come up to the supervisor's room?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Which side of the, is, Eric's land is that on? The east-west road or north-south?
Well, it's on the it's north-south road on the east side.
Yeah.
Comes back into those 340s we got in roads down the west end.
About halfway down or?
No, it's not, it depends on what you
Can you
mean
see it from the road
halfway.
if you drive by it?
You can see it very easily.
Okay, all right.
So I was gonna ask you guys today what you wanted to do. I had it here too, so.
Everybody knows about it, I think, but nobody does anything.
What was the deadline you said?
April 1st, but then it was so wet that
Yeah, they
I knew he
get in.
couldn't get in, so. And I don't have a phone number for him, I only have his address. So
The easiest way to get hold of, the guy that farms it with him. Can't think of his name. I'll think of it here after a while. Maybe tomorrow or something like that. But
Let me tell you, Ralph, I never forget a name.
maybe I can turn this thing on and tell you that. I called him and had him out there and showed him what had to be done. And he said, well, I haven't got any money. He said, farming hasn't been that good. And I thought, well, you know,
So Eric's not farming it himself?
well, he farms it with his son-in-law.
Okay.
And that's, let's see if I can find it. His name.
I'm not sure where to go to. Mark is on vacation this week, so.
Well, he was not going to make it, so his son-in-law took over and they're farming on a share crop deal. And how that's going, I don't know, but that farm is really wet, but it's not solving anything what he's doing either, so. But it's Wogie's son-in-law, if you can think of what his name is. Lucas Wogie. Maybe I got a number for it.
Well, you get a hold of him at the insurance, could you?
No, it's a different movie.
Different movie. Okay.
There it is. His number is 641-860-0595, not 0595, Lucas Wogie.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to get a hold of him.
Okay.
But he's well aware of what's going on out there. I mean, I don't know how he expects to farm it when he can't drain either. It's a lateral off 5, I think. I don't know what,
Well, I don't even think it's a lateral. It's, lat 20.
yeah.
And lat 20 is a ditch.
But now it's gotta be.
He just dug a couple
north.
trenches to relieve some water. Well, that's not really how that works.
Well, you just open the ditch up into the ditch.
Right.
And it all runs in there and washes everything in there, and this, I don't know how many times it's flooded it.
Wow.
We became aware at least a couple years ago, maybe it's a new law, I don't know, but when we went down to Fort Dodge, that when they do this, we can charge it back to the landowner.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you guys approved the letter that I sent in December of 18.
Well, he told Mark that we were gonna fix it for him. That's the first time I'd ever heard anything about it, but we're not gonna fix it for him.
The letter says you are hereby notified to correct these issues by April 1st, 19, or the Board of Supervisors will appoint a contractor to fix the issues and bill you directly for the charges. And then he was going to do it, but then it was too wet, and then he still hasn't done it. So I don't know what you wanted to do.
But now after the spring, it's washed in again. I mean, there's nothing to keep it from washing in, it's just no dish bank or anything, you know, he torqued it all back out, built the waterway straight into the ditch. Two of them.
Scott, you got any thoughts on this? It's your ditch.
I'm not familiar with what we're talking about.
Okay, so this is on 200th Avenue.
Section 16 of Mount Valley.
Yep, west end.
So it's 200th between 380th and 368th.
So can we just send out a new letter with a new deadline and?
That's what I wondered, what's our plan?
I don't think you're gonna accomplish anything by it. Personally, I think it's gonna have to just get fixed.
Are we gonna give them any leeway for the rain delays?
That's your call. That's what I'm here for.
Well,
And it
if
looked like,
if we give a deadline at the end of the month, then we still have some time this summer to fix it right before things turn on us.
Who's gonna pay for this last one we gotta fix now?
What do you mean?
Well, Chuck says it's spot in his, it's all silted in, so that's gotta be taken care of.
Right,
So who's gonna pay for that?
that should be him.
right, I mean, it should be him.
When there's enough damage caused by a farmer.
I really don't think I should have to clean it again,
Right.
free.
And it looked like we told him, this was according to Mark, that the best solution for this picture 1 was to add riprap, and picture 2 would need a surface pipe.
Sounds like you've talked to the right guy already.
So what's your thoughts? Do you give him till the end of the month, or do you just take care of it?
Well, is he gonna do it himself? Is that?
He said he was going to.
He's not capable.
That means Randy Groves probably, right?
Huh?
That means Randy Groves probably.
Oh, I don't know that
Fixing
that would have anything to do with it.
Well, he farms it.
Randy Grove knows not farm it.
But you said
Lucas
his son-
Wogie farms.
Lucas Woogie, good night, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And
Randy Groves it.
he's not capable either. But, you know,
So therefore,
But maybe-
they had to hire someone anyway.
Right.
So therefore, if they don't get somebody hired by the end of July, then we're gonna hire someone and.
if we have a big rain,
Yeah, this is gonna say that.
if we have a big rain between now and the end of July, and that west end of that farm floods after we put in 20-some thousand feet of tile, this is not gonna be a very happy camper. And it's planted.
Well, then I suppose we just gotta do it immediately. He's already well past his deadline and hasn't done anything. Then we just hire someone and have him go out there and do it.
I assume he's had time the last month.
Oh, there's been
Or
plenty
is
of
it just-
chance to get in there.
Has it held, okay, yeah.
And it's a diverted acres, so he's not gonna, he's not gonna raise any crop damage.
It's been too wet.
The
to
poor
get in
guy,
there.
I kind of feel sorry for him in a way, but, you know, he farms right next to us out there where Jeff lives. And he had a sprayer in the field that sat there for 3 years because it broke down, he farmed around it. You know, that's the reason Lucas kind of took over and helped him. And now things are going better.
I say get it done. My input.
Has it been, have the conditions been dry enough at all for them to get in there in the last 2 months?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's like he said,
But
2 months past his deadline.
It's gonna be deteriorating if you get a heavy rain because
Did you say April 1st was the deadline? He said 3
Well,
months
there's,
past.
April 1st is not possible. April 1st, there's frost wasn't out of the peak
Yeah,
yet.
but
When did we send him the letter?
In December.
Riprap can be done in the winter.
I had him out there and showed him what it needed to be done.
Is this gonna be expensive, the cleaning?
Well, I don't know how much riprap they're gonna put in there, but I would imagine there's gonna be, it'll run up probably close to $10,000, I would guess. I'm just assuming. It's hard to keep a pipe even in a peat.
When a farmer does that on his own, who approves it, or don't they have to?
Well, Mark can approve it.
The work
He
within the right of way.
didn't, you say he didn't approve it?
He could approve it after it's done.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
Who approves the start
who
of the
approved the
work?
start of it?
Pardon me?
Who approved the start of it? I don't remember talking about this
I
with
didn't.
anybody.
You might not have been here. I remember we,
I probably wasn't.
But, I don't know who started this beginning, but it can be old
well, it
school.
came up last,
Pardon me?
whenever it was, we
Yeah.
acted on it.
December, and-
We had Mark, we directed Mark to send a letter to him and to get it fixed.
Oh, okay.
So if we hire someone to do it and he really doesn't have the money, then what?
Then you put it on his taxes.
The contractor should bill him directly and then they can work that out.
But if he doesn't pay the contractor?
Well, the
No,
county's
that
gonna
really
have
isn't
to pay
our
the county's gonna have to pay for the improvements. And then you're gonna have to apply it to his taxes. It's the only way it's gonna work.
And it's not an improvement.
You say that is a lateral?
Yep.
It's 5/20.
And this
Then
is-
shouldn't we have paid for it in the first place? If it's a
No,
lateral?
he dug
He dug waterways
a waterway into the lateral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Damage.
it's an open ditch.
There's somebody in there with a
But It's
dozer.
his water.
It's his land, but
Right.
he's,
So this is a tile underneath that?
No,
no.
Because
he's got
I don't,
tile
I don't understand what's a lateral. If it's just a, I
lateral
call them
ditch.
ditches.
Okay, lat 20.
Yep.
And he dug this into it, so it's washing away into there.
Yep.
And then he dug this one. So we want him to fix those areas so it doesn't
So
keep
he
washing in.
didn't even do a waterway, he just.
He just dug it.
He dug a
channel,
channel.
yeah.
There's a waterway up through their ways, yeah.
So my map on this isn't correct then, because it's showing a tile.
But there's tile sticking out, plastic tile sticking out in the ditch that he didn't even put a pipe on, or a rodent guard on. That's his problem. I mean, that doesn't hurt us any, but when a ditch flushes in, that does hurt us.
I say it, my opinion is he's gotta get it done now, within, I don't give him a week.
He won't even have the letter in a week.
You shouldn't need a letter.
Well,
No, I'm saying we should just go ahead and do it.
It's the only way it's gonna get done.
so the district is gonna pay the bill and then we're gonna apply that bill to him.
That's my thinking anyway.
The district shouldn't have to pay for that.
No, it's not going to.
But we cannot make any motions on this because it wasn't on the
Right.
agenda.
Well, let's go back to
I
the
don't think we
district
need a
thing. So
We do to change the billing?
this is work on a district structure, right?
No.
Yes.
No,
But it's still
it's his
being-
private.
It's his private, but it's
But
still in
the
our right of
outlet
way.
is private.
All the damage is in our right of way for the most
And what
part.
I'm saying is, it probably should be the district that pays it and levy, and then we levy it back to them, right?
Yeah, that's what we just said.
Not, well, because the other choice would be, if there's a right of way involved, and then it goes through the county, but I think it should be through the district.
It's no different than the ditch that goes through the old Gainesy farm. Up there by where I grew up.
How's that coming?
He's getting out there.
Did they find anything?
He hasn't called me back yet. He's gonna find it, yep.
Well, then I
Made a
guess-
tweet and had a couple of huge slop-ins too. You know what, and that might be the problem.
I think that there's absolutely no water
Yeah.
moving at all in that
Yep.
ditch.
Yep.
But it's a dirty shame that we have this bad weather. It's caused all this problem, but we have to deal with what we got.
Yeah,
I don't see the necessity of it. I just say we go do it.
well, we gotta pick contractors and do it. You wanna do it?
We haven't got time.
You haven't got time?
We haven't.
That's what I'm really into.
I was gonna
is
say,
all about
nobody
that
has
time.
time, so I still have petitions that I can't find contractors to go do.
Might be one reason that maybe we do give them to the end of the month, because there's no contractors that are able to do it anyway right now.
But in the meantime, we're lining somebody up
Yeah.
to do it after the.
Is that a possibility that the county themselves with their own personnel could do it?
Except they're really backed up like the contractors.
Yeah.
Do you even have tile equipment anymore? When like,
Well,
But
That's
it's
not tile.
have you
Right.
take excavator and
Needs an
We don't have time
excavator.
either.
well, right,
Yep. we
I just didn't even know if
we
you
have
had
the
any equipment
Right,
to
we
do.
have the same amount of time as everyone else and the
Right.
same
Well, it's
stack.
not
of work.
complicated,
It's not complicated at all.
so,
It just has to get done.
yeah.
Is it something that your guys can schedule after the first of the month?
We're built clear back into next year. We're all over the country, Texas, Iowa, South Dakota.
well, then it's back to where it just hope we don't get any big rains in the meantime, I guess, so.
Well, if it is somebody, I can remember when, on that ditch that we were talking about by your house, farm up there, that, there was 4 pipes stuck in the ditch and we had a 4-inch rain and everybody was underwater up there. And they put 4 48-inch up their pipe and then put a road crossing so they could get across the ditch. And, at that time, I called them and told them, I said, I'm gonna go up there and dig them out so that we can get some drainage unless you guys want to. And the county beat me. They got them out. So it's, drainage in this part of the country is the livelihood of this county, regardless of the fact, especially in Mon Valley.
So right now, we can't action on anything, so if we just put it on our agenda for next week to discuss that in action, is that correct? Mike?
Yeah.
So this would be DD 5 lot 20? To redress. All right. Anything else on drainage? Do you have anything, Chris?
no, otherwise it's just on the agenda.
You guys have anything on drainage?
No,
Scott, talk about roads?
I don't have anything either. So you guys got anything?
I see we've started along the blacktops at least.
Yep, mowers are out. We've switched from spot rocking to end-to-end resurfacing, the main shift for the crew.
I notice there's still a bad spot on 150th.
You want to make a list with me?
Oh, did I put one on the list yesterday?
Yeah, well, there's too many to make a list. So we're gonna have to, try to be patient until we get to the worst of them with our resurfacing program, and then we'll start spotting again. We just can't get enough loads out there this year. Spotted more than in my memory, I've ever spotted before in the spring. And normally we'd have a all the stockpile's gone by now, and we started that late, so.
And the word I've gotten from other counties that applied for FEMA damage, the rules changed since the last time this all came around. They're a little more stringent.
Rules are always changing, especially with FEMA. Whatever you did right the first time is now wrong the second time, seems like.
If I can interject something here, we're hauling rock like everybody else is hauling rock. But there's one mile in Hancock County, we put 1,000 ton in 1 mile. And it's just started disappearing.
I had one road in Hancock County that brought my truck to a stop and it was all fertilizer.
I can believe
I
that.
couldn't downshift fast enough. I should have skipped 4 gears instead of 2.
It's hard on trucks too.
Yeah. Like that.
Anyway. Good luck, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck.
Anything else on roads? All right. Consider approving HIPAA program contract with ISAC.
This is just a renewal of the contract from last year.
What do you do for us again?
Kelsey could probably explain it better. They provide us training opportunities and, help us come up with documentation that we need.
Keep us compliant.
Make a motion to approve that contract with ISAC. HIPAA contract.
I'll second it.
On a motion from Stenzers and a second from Jensvold to approve the HIPAA program contract with ISAC. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider for approval invoice from A1 Excavating regarding D5 Lat 5.
Can I get that back, please?
I just wanted you guys to approve it. There is a question now on the intake that he put in. He put in a homemade intake, and I'm not sure how well that's gonna hold up. Randy Gross was in, and he doesn't know where the intake is on the east side of that gravel road. So if that's supposed to be the outlet, there needs to be one on the east side of the road and the west side of the road. And Elliot only went to the west side and then put in this homemade grate thing. I told Andy about it, wondered if he had looked at it, and he's been in contact with Scott and Mark. So they just need to go look at it to see if it's gonna hold up or not. So there may be something else that he's gonna have to do to make it work for the east side of the road.
Can we get Mark to go look at that?
Yes, and he's on vacation this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's in the works to do. So he may,
If it should be, there won't be any problem.
If it doesn't
Right.
hold up, part of this whole thing was is that he was gonna maintain it, wasn't it?
Not
no, this is the tile,
Or the tiles.
yeah.
No,
So whatever he wants to do with that ditch, he
Yeah,
can
I
do.
maintain the ditch.
Understand there's bad blood.
I get that,
Okay.
but it still
No,
needs to work
yeah,
whether Randy owns it or not.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and then now, there's one property owner that I think the bank is gonna sell it. And Randy needs to tile through all that, so he doesn't even know how he's gonna get there anymore, but it still needs to work.
So now, I've got a question. going east there through that property you're talking about, that is private tile.
Yes,
Yeah, this map, it kind of shows it as a ditch.
right, and I
But-
think the map shows that project that was going to happen, and
Yeah.
it never did.
But when I looked up on Beacon, it showed it private, or didn't even show it private. It doesn't even show it, but you can see the line where it is.
Okay.
But then when you look it up on pictometry, then it shows it as a district tile and a lat coming off of it.
Yeah, and that's not,
That's not a
It's-
lateral.
See, that really screwed us up when we first started this project.
right, it's not, I don't even know if it is there, and
It makes
according
it
to
look
all
like a lateral goes onto a private tile.
It ends about, I think, if I remember correctly, about 15 feet on the east side.
yeah,
That's where it
it's
ends.
just in the road ditch, just the outlet.
Yeah,
That's
there's that lat,
it.
lat forward.
Yeah, the map's not right.
And that ditch doesn't exist, right?
Right.
It's just things that we're finding out that we have to change on the map.
As long as we got the correct information
According to the records,
that we have.
Just hope they're correct.
So how are we gonna handle this bill then?
She said approve it, and
yeah, he may have to
trust me,
do more
he will
work.
make things right. I know
Is this a
it.
project we hold 10% on, or?
We don't need to.
Okay.
That's up to you guys. But the contract was 45. He did the work that he was told to do.
Okay.
Andy had been out there. I don't know what more
And
to
if it's
do.
something under his purview that he's gotta do, he'll do it.
So we'll just wait until,
Once it's all go away. He'll take care of it.
yeah. We'll just wait till Mark gets back and he or Scott can go out there. I think Scott was gonna try to,
Okay.
but he didn't know if he'd have time.
I would think it'd be more of the control of the road, what's in there. Scott and Mark would be.
Yeah, they'll go look at it to see and let us know what needs to be done.
Make a motion to approve the invoice for DD5 Lab 5 to A1.
I'll second it.
A motion from Stanger and a second from Jensvold to approve the A1 excavating payment for DD5 Lat 5 work.
Let's add for the record, with the understanding, that the east side of the road will be looked at and taken care of.
Under the contract?
No, it wouldn't be under the contract, I don't think. It's,
Well, it should be. I mean, there should have been an outlet to the east side also.
He was supposed to do it.
Right.
was that under the specs?
Should have been.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I don't remember if that was in the specs.
It should have been because he needed to make sure that everything
But
works.
the other part of it is the road usually does anything.
And if it's in the right of way, then they'll have to take care of it.
Yeah.
That's why we need them to go look at it
Yeah.
to see what needs to be
There
done.
there you go. Leave it alone.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Did you want that motion to include
No,
the
not
side of the road?
no.
No? Okay.
Chris explained it.
Discussion of possible action regarding DD 18 reclassification.
This is the one we talked about last week to reclassify, plus with those laterals that we're gonna do the projects on, possible projects. It'd be nice to make sure that everything's correct. And with landowners wanting it done, I feel that that's a good reason.
So all laterals would be reclassified.
The whole district.
Any discussion on that?
I would recommend to have Jacobson Westergaard because they're already there doing the project.
We'll go with that motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Jensvold and a second, or motion from Stenter and a second from Jensvold to move forward with reclassification of DD 19 entire district with Jacobson Westigard as the engineer.
Second.
No, that was the motion. I was just repeating the motion.
Oh, okay.
So,
Sounds like a good motion, go ahead.
all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Discussion regarding current waste management contract. I have some hesitancy to sign a long-term contract on this right now. We signed a one-year contract last year, and things are changing in this area quite a bit. I guess I'd like to at least have a couple of weeks to discuss with some people.
Right, that's why I put it on here, because that's what you had said last year, and I didn't know if you'd gotten around to doing any of that.
Well, and
And
more things are transpiring right now, so.
Right,
It's kind of a critical time, I'd rather.
so we just need to get on it because it
Why don't you give me-
expires.
Why don't you give me 1 month?
Okay,
So like the first of next month, put it on the agenda.
okay.
It expires in October,
Right,
so.
right. I want to keep it going on it. You know, it's what that time where there's not a lot of value in recycling, so it's kind of a crapshoot to try to develop anything. Or if you stockpile a bunch, all of a sudden it's going to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
You never know.
Or you may end up with a huge pile.
In a mess. So, yeah, if you don't mind, we'll table it for a month. Consider for approval Recorder's Quarterly Report.
Ooh, 9:42. You already had my glasses off.
Hello.
Yeah, we were ready for your Recorder's Report.
Okay, I'll be in. Thanks.
Thanks.
Good morning. There's that.
People are still traveling.
Yeah, we did 51 passports this quarter, 120 pictures. So, and it was boat renewal season, that's every 3 years. We did 500 boat renewals. And last Thursday, we had Iowa Department of Public Health in to audit us. They're getting to be a lot of regulations because of identity theft. So they audit every piece of safety paper we issue for a certified copy of a marriage or birth or death certificate. And a lot of processes to go through, and yeah, have to keep it locked
What are they auditing for?
just to make sure we're doing it right. And every person that gets a certified copy has to fill out an application, and it has to be certified, or I mean, it has to be notarized. And if it's through the mail, if they come in person, we notarize it. So they want to make sure that we're following the notarization standards and all of that. And since Sarah
Pardon my
does,
ignorance, but what does the public health have to do with that?
well, there's a division called Vital Records in Des
Oh,
Moines,
okay.
Public Health Division.
Okay.
Vital Records. And since Sarah does passports, she cannot have access to any of the safety papers. That's why we have to keep it locked up and to make sure that she doesn't do any of the birth certificates or death certificates. So. And then another new thing, we're starting now July 1st, federal duck stamps will be sold in our office. They used to be just at the post office.
All right.
So that's kind of nice. Except we get 50 cents out of 28.50. Something I wish that the legislature would really take a hard look at is our fees, because they have not gone up since I've been recorder.
Was there,
Nothing,
Just another unfunded mandate.
yeah.
yes,
And I think before that, they were the same. You know, like for each hunting and fishing license, we get 50 cents. And for every, like, recreational vehicle, $1.25. And the rest goes to the state. You can see here, like, how much, 47,000 is going to the state and we get 25,000.
I wonder why their share could go up, but ours can't.
Yeah,
Is that through administrative rule? They do theirs.
I suppose.
They make the rules. That's
Yep.
why.
Yeah, but if they know that their costs are increasing, they gotta know that everybody else's costs are
Yeah.
increasing also, so.
You know, and at any time, especially the recorders for some reason, anytime we ask for a fee increase, it's just like, all you want is more money. Well, we want our county to be sustainable.
Everybody wants someone else.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the recorder's report.
I'll second it.
On a motion from Derby and a second from Jensel to approve the recorder's quarterly report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Consider for approval auditor's quarterly report. Got that here. Okay.
We're gonna call them.
I'll make a motion to approve the auditor's quarterly report.
Second.
On a motion from Jensel and a second from Stenzer to approve the auditor's quarterly report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Open forum.
So, just our, we had a gal who,
Throw it.
got this in, but not in time to make it on the agenda.
Can we go back to open forum? Jeff's got something here.
We are in open forum. You mean drainage?
Roads.
Roads. Okay.
Just wondering if there's a list you put your name on to get some attention, or 170th Avenue in 1 mile, there's 5 spots where there's black dirt showing through the roadbed. Last Friday, I graded it with my tractor. Pretty impassable.
How far north?
Well, till you get to ITC, where they're taking care of it. To my road, 460th.
We just discussed that when the engineer was up.
Well, we discussed
This
problems, but not that specific.
No.
But leading out of my place, the best road I got is to go north on what used to be a level B. Smokies Road is a 20-ton bridge now. I can't go through there with a truck. If I go west to Vingy Blacktop, if it rains, you need 4-wheel drive pickup in 4-wheel drive to get to the road. ITC is doing their best, or I guess it's Freeborn Construction. But going up the hill past Howard's, there's a frost boil there for 1/8 of a mile.
So are they supposed to be doing that road then?
They are. They grade it every day or every week, put rock on it and run the roller on it. But you can't compress water, you know, inside.
So got water.
Oh, yeah. I'd hate to guess how many loads of rock they've dumped.
So it's better than it would have been if we would have been in control of it then.
Well, the 3 miles that you got that hook up to it ain't for shit.
I know, that's what I mean.
Ain't very good.
They're putting a lot of attention to that.
But I hear him every week till we're working on secondary roads. I'm just kind of wondering when a guy gets, because I haven't been able to haul corn. I got to pick the days. And I gotta travel different roads so I don't tear it up worse.
Have you talked to Scott personally or not?
No.
Might still be downstairs. We can-
I'll talk.
But it's the 1st of July.
It would
I
help,
mean,
it would help if you talked to him too.
Yeah,
We can find out if it's on the list to be done from one to the other, that would help.
Let's just call them up.
Smoky
Um,
Road is due to be.
Is it 10?
well, they got
Oh, yes,
the
it is.
pipe there that, I can't go across that.
We gotta make a call at 10 here.
No, I just want you guys aware,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not new,
Go down and talk to Scott.
I will,
Thanks.
okay.
And then we'll call after we're done with this meeting. We'll-
Put his feet to the fire.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You got that one first.
No.
Auditor's office is Christy, may I help you?
This is the Winnebago County Supervisors. We're supposed to have a conference call with the Cassuth supervisors.
Okay, let me transfer you.
ABC's Ian Panelist at the phone desk with details.
A terror plot inspired by ISIS foiled overnight in Sydney, Australia. 3 men were arrested in raids
Must
of
be the
properties
BBC.
and in attacks on a range of public...
The what desk?
Morning.
Good morning.
We have a full board, including our range clerk, auditor, Amber Garland.
Just wanna make
All
sure I
right,
have that
and
right.
we have a full board, and our drainage clerk is currently here. Our auditor stepped out. So are you ready to start then?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing a teleconference with Cassuth County with possible action to discuss reclassification of DD 68-136. You want to explain this, Chris?
This is the one we talked about last week, when I was having landowners call me about the project, realized that some landowners aren't in the main ditch, but they're on Lat 2, and that's not correct. So I'd like to see it, the whole district reclassified.
Very good idea.
And I recommend that we use Jacobson Westergaard because they've already been out there to do all this pre-work on the project. So that's just my recommendation.
Right. Somebody from your county want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Jacobson Westergaard to do the reclassification of DD 68-136.
I'll second your motion.
That's Roger Jarrett from Cassuth County.
So I've got a motion from Jensvold and a second from Sharks to approve Jacobson Westergaard to move forward with reclassification of DD 68-136. Any further discussion?
Does he know about what they charge per acre?
It's been running an average of about $2 an acre.
As long as there's no urban property involved, it's usually about $2.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good number.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty good work for our county. I feel pretty good about his services.
Sure.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye from Cassuth County.
All ayes from Winnebago. Okay, now we're gonna discuss the clean out of DD 68-36 into Minnesota.
I talked to, is it Carolyn Halverson?
Yeah.
Okay. I talked to her yesterday, and her brother used to be a district person, a commissioner in the Minnesota part. And back in 1999, there was, whether it was a resolution, a contract, that District 68-136 would pay for the first 2,000 feet into Minnesota. And then from there, the percentage went down because all of our water goes north. And I just talked to her yesterday, so I did not get a chance to talk to the person, the drainage person in Faribault County, but I will, to see if we can get a copy of that contract. Because she said there's so many trees that needs to get cleaned out, otherwise some of this, it's not even gonna help.
Of course, you know the laws in Minnesota are totally different than Iowa.
Right, so that's why I wanna get a hold of this contract to see what it says, to see, what
But
they,
even with that contract, they got a whole different process than we do it here in Iowa.
okay.
Just gonna prepare you.
Yeah, and that's fine. We just will see, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but,
Well, you're gonna end up buying soil banks for each side of the dredge for however many feet that you're liable for.
okay. Well, we'll just see what it says, and if I get a copy of it, I'll send it to Marge.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, can you guys tell me how many of your commissioner or board members are there today?
They said everyone.
All of them? Okay, thanks.
I can send you all three of them.
Yeah, we're all here too. Any further discussions on the clean out in Minnesota?
No?
All right, I guess that probably ends our discussions then. All right, thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Bye. Well, never hurts to at least check into it.
Right, right. So she said her copy was pretty clear by now.
Is Minnesota, they more restrictive on removing trees?
I can't remember, but
Everything is. I know a bit of been removing trees.
it was east of Scarville on the state line. We've worked with Minnesota one time before. Was it about 4 years ago?
Yeah, we didn't get anything done.
Or
We never did
then?
get anything accomplished.
Oh, okay.
But right now I have a gentleman, Dustin Anderson maybe, who is a drainage person from Faribault County, and his boss are willing to work with us and wanting to get something together. So I'm gonna email him today and start that process, so. Because we were working with him on DD 102, and Gary Helgeson is getting that all worked out.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else for open forum then? Oh, you had this.
Yeah. She did not get that into us soon enough to get on the agenda today.
It's a pretty wide open, month-long thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
What is it?
It's a firework permit for, now, according to our code, you can't fire them off without permit. Past what, the 8th of July or something?
Something
Is that the in town?
So,
No, anywhere in the county.
so
It's gotta
unless
follow
she
the-
was shooting bigger fireworks, she wouldn't have needed it up to the 8th. I know the one that we gave over in my neighborhood over there, east of Matthews, he had big ones. So that's why he got his permit. I could feel him at my house. 3 miles.
Who's that?
Huh?
John Lund?
No, that was,
Charles.
yeah.
Kelsey, yeah.
My neighbor's only 2 houses away and he shoots them up at 3 in the morning sometimes.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, technically, we shouldn't, unless you feel like it's a necessity.
Most people do like a 3-day span.
Yeah, this is pretty broad.
So you're saying that she's good through past the 4th of July without a permit? Is that what you said?
Up to the 8th.
Up to the
If
8th?
they use what you can buy at the store.
Yeah.
But if they're buying
They're
bigger
buying the
stuff,
commercial
and
stuff.
you're using the bigger stuff, I can't see a month-long permit.
No, right.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
But if you were using, if you wanted to have a certain event, later in the month, past the due date, then I can see. a
Yeah,
permit
okay, yeah.
for those days, but not
If
for
they have
a
a
month.
weekend where they're having a family reunion or something.
I guess.
To make this simple, to make this permit simple, we should have Class A or Class B on there too.
They don't call it that anymore.
Don't they?
They've got different, when we went through things, they used to call it Class B, Class C. And what they're selling here would be considered the old Class C. What they sell in Minnesota is the old Class D. And Class B is what they use for the big mobile fireworks.
What's Class A then? Mortar shells or?
It's reserved for military.
Well, I know, when you have your hazmat on your CDL, you have to know all the Class A.
Well, I remember buying Class B for something way back when. We had to have a permit to do it back then. You had to have a permit to buy. But my opinion, this is your district, but my opinion is we can't act on it this week because of.
Well, I'm in full agreement with you. It all depends on what she's gonna shoot.
Yeah, that's a pretty broad range.
Yeah.
So she's got the Class C, she's good to shoot until the 8th, so she's got time to.
Yeah,
She doesn't even need a permit.
Yeah, she doesn't even need the permit, and if she needs it for later on in the month, she's got time to get it out.
Yeah.
Next week, if she's got something that's going on. So we get the specifics.
What's her name?
It's right here.
Hogan?
Yeah, it's
Diane?
Oh, okay. That's just, Tool and Die. Wilkinson Tool and Die, just a half mile west of there.
Maybe you wanna call her.
Dennis Peterson's backyard.
I think that would be. Is that right?
641 592.
8992.
All the brothers are there. You know them?
Hello, please leave a message after the tone.
I guess at this point, we can't act on it for one. And if we have to act on it next Tuesday, we're gonna probably have want more specific. I mean, it's a pretty broad application. I could come in here and
And if
say,
she's
I want-
got, if she has a reason for that,
yeah, she has to explain why.
then she can say why, and we might approve it, but, yeah. It might be a deal where she doesn't know.
Well, I think consistently, we've reserved it either
Yeah.
2 different Saturdays or one weekend. We've never gone that route.
I know that, Dan. They live according to the letter of the law, so I mean, they're not trying to.
Right.
Watched the thing on the news or whatever about somebody, and they had regular crash dummies or whatever that have, and that show light when the thing's going off, and go over their whole head.
There's a couple of things.
I don't know who would be known with the things in there, but I don't get the.
Go on YouTube
And then there's.
follow it up.
Jeez.
It shows, there's idiots that do it, and one did let go.
It'll burn.
Anything else for open forum? We'll move on to consider for approval of county claims. You guys have a chance to look at the county claims.
Did you get them?
Huh?
Did you get them?
Yeah.
Just an email?
Oh, it was last Wednesday. That's probably why you got thrown out.
I paid him on Thursday for the last of the year.
Oh, okay.
Well, that must have was.
I thought it was kind of odd that the road department goes out and buys $500 and some worth of lath from a building supply place down in Dyke, Iowa.
I don't enter their
I'm a little
claims.
disappointed in that because the local lumber yards can't get it.
Some specialty
You'll need to
trees.
talk to them about that.
I'm thinking it's just for their road project, so.
It might be a bigger map.
It's called lath.
But I mean, not the normal lap again, you're set, you know, might be an inch by inch or something, it's heavier duty.
And then I wanted to get in all the drainage I could before the end of the year.
So now, A1, will that be on this year's taxes?
No, because he didn't get it to me until the 27th or whatever it was.
So I did have somebody looking at that place that the bank's selling.
Oh,
And
so it'll go in next
I
year.
warned them. It's a little under $5,000 that whoever buys it is going to have to pay.
Oh, and B&W spraying, that was a lot of those.
So in the notes, talk to Terry. Have no knowledge of that one. Going across Highway 9. Flat 16.
Who was it?
It's the heart. Saw there had been some digging done there. So.
Yeah, I just go with it if they say they talk to you. I don't know. I know when I talk to them, but Who is the landowner?
Jay Mathis.
Yeah, they've been calling. I mean, I know there's
When
been,
I talked to me, Mathis, it was, he had land on another district.
right. Yeah. Carol's called on a couple things.
I remember when that 16 got put in. See the DOT contracts out there spraying in the ditches.
Highway 9,
I know on 69 they did. I was thinking they did 9 too. They had a ranger in the ditch and a sprayer along the roadside and another truck kind of flashing lights behind it. Traffic control. I see the Helgeson went out and did a fix for in the 69 right away on that one lateral near my place. Where they had to go out on the road that one time, it was this, in the east ditch, it was blown out this spring.
Okay.
Helgeson got there and fixed it. Now, are all of these claims on this year's levies then?
They will be, yep. That's why I wanted to get them out, get them ready, so. Especially the B and W, because I didn't want to get behind on that and have 2 years' worth next year.
You guys ready for a motion on that then?
So moved.
second.
Make a motion.
I got a motion from Stetser and a second from Jensvold to approve the county claims. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Vacation's over, huh?